Hey folks, it's Nick Granville. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I thought I'd talk about the Fender Blues Junior. Fender sent a couple of these out for me to check out, so I'm kind of putting them through their paces. And I was kind of reminded how these are amps that you see everywhere, right? They're kind of a staple, right? But a lot of people really struggle with these amps. You know, they don't know how to get the best from them, so I'm going to show you that today. So first thing, I remember sitting in with my buddy Chris Cain. He was here from San Francisco, or San Jose, near San Francisco, and a really fantastic blues guitar player. I just finished my gig and I turned up to his gig and he invited me up to play. So I had my guitar on. So I went and they had a Fender Hot Rod DeVille for Chris to use, which is great. You know, those things are awesome. And I had a Blues Junior and I was like, oh, I'm going to get decimated, aren't I? So I got to put a mic on it and put it through the monitors, and that's kind of how it worked, right? But I think a lot of times people struggle with these amps and kind of how to get the best from them. So I'm going to run you through that today. So first up, I'll show you how I go about setting the amp. First thing that happens is a lot of people get this amp home, and then they get it home and they plug it in, they turn on and there's no sound and they're not really sure why. There's a built-in standby. When you flick the standby switch, it takes a second for it to warm up, right? So you just got to wait through that. So that can be a bit disconcerting if it's a brand new amp for you. That's normal operation. Next thing, the fat switch. I always leave that in. This is an EL84 amp. I tend to find it sounds a little on the thinner side, so I push that fat switch in and just leave it in. Second thing, master volume. I turn the master volume up on full. I just leave it on 12. That way, essentially, it becomes almost like an amp that has no master volume because you've just cranked it. Right? That seems to work pretty good for me. I set my volume somewhere between 4 and 5, which is for your level of breakup. I don't want too much more than that. It starts getting more distorted. And then what I do is I turn the treble down quite a bit. Now, a lot of times people see treble controls and they think, well, I have to leave the treble control on about halfway, right? No, set it wherever it sounds good. I do the same thing with the bass control. I turn that up. Now, if I'm playing in a room that's boomy, I'll actually turn the bass control down quite a bit. In other rooms, I'll turn it up. So in here, it's needing a bit more bottom end. The reverb between 2 and 3 depends on what you're doing. The real secret to it, though, to making these things sound good, is how you set your guitar. So I thought I'd use a Strat because that's kind of one that everyone knows, right? First thing I do, I almost never run my volume on full. I pretty much always just have it dialed back when I'm using Blues Juniors. And what that does is the pot engages a little bit and it just takes the top end out. I've talked about how to get the best from a Strat before, but it's definitely the case with a Blues Junior. So if I run it on about, this is my volume on 5 with those settings. It's pretty clean, right? Not completely clean, but you know, it's pretty clean. Is that falling down again? Yes, it is. Dumbass music stands. So if I turn it up on, you'll see there's quite a bit of drive, and I'd use that maybe for a lead tone if I needed to, but most of the time I'm not even going to do that. It's going to live around 7, right? Which is a really expressive kind of way of playing, right? It has enough breakup, but not too much. Now, that'll change depending on what guitar you use. If you have a Stratocaster with hot pickups, you'll probably have to bring that volume down. But if you have a guitar that's, say, like a Les Paul, even hotter pickups, bring that volume down still. But I think bringing the master volume up on full and then using your guitar and using that roll-off of top end from the volume control goes a long way. That's one I'd really highly recommend. And then from there, what I do a lot of the time is sometimes I'll change my controls on here to just make it darker if I want to, because generally it's a bright amp. But what I do is so say I'm on 7, my tone there. And then I'll change this to get different sounds. Do you know what I mean? Say I want a country sound. Say I want a jazz tone. Okay, well I'll go to my 7 again and I'll turn my tone control back. And I'll probably play a different guitar than this. But you can see I can get away with it, right? I can get all those different kind of tones. If I'm going to play a lot of low stuff, like low notes, I'll often go in the middle pickup and go this kind of tone. With the Blues Junior, it's pretty much set. What I'm doing from here is all the control is happening at the guitar, because I'm just playing straight into it. I don't want to have to deal with it. I just want to have to deal with it from the guitar. So that's kind of how I approach Blues Juniors. I think a lot of people get stuck on them, right? They get it, they plug it in and they go, whoa, it's really bright, and they don't really like the sound. They don't know what to do. So hopefully this helps. If it does, please like and subscribe. If you're new around here, then thank you so much for watching. If you've been around for a while, then also thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Be kind in the comments. People leave some dumbass comments. It's just unnecessary. I'm just going to block your ass if you do that, right? And people that leave nice comments, well, thank you very much. And people don't leave comments but just watch, thank you very much too. Be cool, people. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.